It's been 40 days since I started playing with this tarot deck. I started with this because I thought it would give me insight into my psyche and my subconscious mind. I have never believed it to be something magical. I don't believe in things that are esoteric. I don't believe in magic, at least in the magic that happens as such. And I certainly hate hope peddlers. The reason I hate hope peddlers and the people who prey on the need to believe in something of others is because years ago, ages ago, I was strapped for cash. And I knew this guy. He lived in the neighborhood, and we knew each other well enough to chat on occasion. And his main deal was doing tarot readings, reading cards, and reading crystal balls, and doing all sorts of rituals and incantations. And his business was booming, man. His business was booming. It was going so well that he wanted to create a hotline. Those kind of lines where you dialed and someone would answer and give you all of the answers that you needed, all of the insight that you were searching for through the phone and at a premium cost. So I told him that I needed the money, and he told me that he could employ me. I told him that I didn't believe in any kind of dark arts and witchcraft and wizardry and things that I could not touch. And he told me that it didn't matter that he didn't believe in that either. It was just something that made people feel good about themselves, about their environment, about their lives. I didn't think much of it, and I got to work with him. I started working with him regardless of any lack of formation that I could have had. He gave me a notebook. It was divided in 4 sections, and they were ordered as love, money, family, health. Those were the 4 things that people asked about, the things that people deemed the most important. And that was the order of importance that people gave them: love, money, family, and health. So each section had answers to the most common questions that people had. And all you had to do was look through it and spew some kind of esoteric remark about what they could expect of their lives. I've never believed in signs. I think that signs are just what you want or what you don't want to believe or to see. So I worked with him for a couple of weeks, and on my last day, a kid who was not much younger than me called. He told me he was 16, and he said that his parents had just passed in a car crash. And he wanted to know if he could communicate with them through some kind of channeling or reading, tarot, or any other kind of esoteric art. And I just couldn't do it anymore, man. That was the day in which I stopped. This past 40 days have taught me a little bit about myself. All of the readings that I have made have sounded like horoscopes, vague and impersonal. They are things that we already know. There are things that are common sense. And it is just a narrative. It has devolved into just a nice pep talk in the morning, which is not the idea that I had for these tarot readings. I just wanted to get more insight into my own psyche, into my own subconscious mind. So after 40 days, I am going to change the format a little bit. I kind of imprisoned myself into the format. I said that I was going to pick a certain amount of cards and that those cards were going to have a fixed meaning. And then instead of following most of my intuition, I could be trying to fit the narrative into what I already said it would be. And that doesn't leave a lot of room for interpretation. So now I am going to be picking just one card. And I am going to trust my intuition into it telling me what it means to me. I have not bothered to uncover all of the meanings for each and every one of the cards in this deck. On the one hand, because I want it to be more about my psyche and my subconscious mind than about other thing. And because I will not willingly surrender my authority to someone who lived centuries ago and who had probably very different ideas to the ones that I had. Why would I do that? If one thing I can get from this experience is that I am an skeptic, and doubt is the most powerful tool we have to become critical thinkers. And to think critically is something very important in today's world, methinks. So I'm going to start to pick one card each and every day. Just see what it means to me, describe the card. In case you want to follow along, you should trust what you think about that card. And just go with the intuition that it brings you into the reactions that it makes you feel. And I hope that you doubt everything, even yourself on occasion, because that is important to grow. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a reading right now. I'm going to give 3 shuffles to the deck because good things come in threes, bad things come in threes, neutral things come in threes, or they don't. The important thing is just that we start afresh. And the important thing is that we follow our intuition, because that will tell us what is in our minds. And then with that insight, we can gather information about our subconscious and unconscious parts and bring them to our conscience. I love the way in which the cards are shuffled like that because it makes me feel a little bit more magical. And so the card that we got is the Hanged Man, inverted. I can see a man who is hanging by a thread, and that thread is hanging by a branch. And in this way, in which it is inverted, it kind of seems funny, as if he were tying his shoe in a very creative way. I see this card and I feel innocence. I feel being stuck for a while and finally doing the right thing to let go. Doing the right thing to actually be free for once. Doing the right thing for you. After doing one too many things, trying to please others. That is what this card tells me about myself. What does this card tell you about yourself? If you are interested in following tarot as some mean to uncover your mind, I would suggest that you buy your own deck and just draw your cards and trust that whatever you feel is what you have to acknowledge and maybe what you have to work on. And just try to be, just try to exist. We have lifespans of 100 years. What is 100 years compared to the 10,000 years that mankind has been creating civilizations? And what is 10,000 years compared to the 200,000 years that humanity has been around as Homo sapiens? And what is 200,000 years compared to 4.5 billion years that the Earth has been around? And what is 4.5 billion years compared to 14.5 billion years that the universe has been around? It's nothing. And if we think that our plans are much more grand than the universe's and that we can do something more than the universe, because the only thing that the universe does is exist. To think that we can do much better is somewhat arrogant, isn't it? So let's just try to exist and make the best out of our stay in this path, in this world, in this material existence, even if it is just the only thing that we will ever know. Just have a good one. Just be yourself. And remember that we have a magnificent gift. It is the gift of choice. We have within ourselves the freedom to decide how we respond to this world, to circumstance, to even ourselves. Stay the course. Remember that today is yours, should you decide to make it yours. And I'll see you when I see you.